The first time I saw her, I thought she was a phantom, just a shimmer in the desert heat of the scorched moon of Chiron 4. But when the shimmer stepped forward, boots sinking into the glassy sand, the truth was far more dangerous. She was a hunter. Her armor gleamed silver in the dying light, etched with burn marks and strange glyphs that weren't of any human language. A hood half-shadowed her face, but the glint in her eyes told me she had already weighed me, measured me, judged me. And she'd come to collect. I should have run. But where? Behind me stretched miles of broken dunes. Ahead, the black cliffs cut the horizon. And above, 3 suns were sinking at once, their long shadows crawling across the desert like skeletal hands. So instead I swallowed my fear and asked, "Who sent you?" Her answer was calm, precise, and chilling. "There's a bounty on your head." She let the words linger in the cooling air like a verdict. Her hand rested on the hilt of a blade strapped to her thigh, a blade that shimmered unnaturally, as though it existed half in this world and half in another. My pulse hammered. "How much?" I asked, desperate to buy time. Her lips curved in a smirk. "Enough to make 10 hunters chase you. Enough to make 100 betray you. Enough to make me cross half the galaxy for the pleasure of finding you." My throat tightened. "Then why are you talking instead of finishing it?" That's when she leaned closer, shadows wrapping around her like a second cloak. Her voice dropped, almost conspiratorial. "Because," she said, "I'm going to make you an offer instead." Part 1. The Fugitive. I hadn't always been running. Once I was a systems engineer for the Frontier Alliance, building jump relays to connect forgotten colonies. My life had been technical, quiet, predictable. Then, 3 months ago, I stumbled on a transmission. It wasn't meant for human ears. Encrypted in alien code, laced with harmonic patterns no human system should have produced, the message spoke of coordinates. Coordinates to something buried beneath the crust of Chiron 4. Something older than the colonies, older than the Alliance itself. When I decoded it, I triggered a chain of events I couldn't reverse. 2 days later, I was framed for treason. They claimed I had sold secrets to the Zorthan Syndicate. My clearance was revoked, my accounts frozen, my ship impounded. And the bounty was placed. Dead or alive. Now here she stood, the very hunter meant to deliver me. And she wasn't human. Not entirely. Her eyes flickered with a metallic sheen, like circuitry behind flesh. Her voice carried an echo, subtle but wrong. "You've been running in circles," she said. "No ship, no allies. The only thing keeping you alive is your stubbornness. But that ends here. Unless..." I stiffened. "Unless what?" She tilted her head. "Unless you come with me willingly. Not as prey. Not as cargo. But as a partner." Part 2. The Hunter's Bargain. We camped that night beneath the shattered cliffs. A cold wind blew across the desert, rattling through fissures like whispering ghosts. She sat across the fire from me, her armor plates gleaming with shifting light. "My name," she finally said, "is Kaylin." The flames flickered in her eyes. "I was contracted to bring you in. Dead was preferred. Alive was acceptable. But when I saw your name on the bounty lists, I recognized it. You're the one who cracked the signal." I frowned. "You know about that." Her smile was sharp. "I know what you carry in your head. Coordinates. Key. They're not after you because of treason. They're after you because you found something meant to stay buried." My gut clenched. "And what do you want with it?" Her gaze held mine, steady and unflinching. "I want to find it before they do. Together." Silence stretched between us, broken only by the hiss of the fire. "You expect me to trust you?" "Yes." Kaylin shrugged lightly. though her hand never strayed far from her blade. Trust is a currency rarer than credits. I don't expect you to give it for free. But think about it, you're out of options. The only way you live is if we make a deal. I studied her. Every instinct screamed that she was dangerous, that walking with her was like stepping willingly into a predator's den. But she was right. I had no ship, no allies, no escape. And somewhere beneath this world, the thing from that transmission waited. Fine, I said. But if you betray me, her smirk returned. You won't live long enough to regret it. Part 3. Descent into Shadows. The coordinates led us to the southern canyons of Chiron 4, where black stone rose like jagged teeth from the desert floor. The air grew colder as we descended, shadows stretching deeper until day itself seemed swallowed. Kaylin moved with purpose, every step sure, every turn precise, as though she'd walked these paths before. How do you know so much? I asked as we entered a cavern mouth carved by ancient hands, not nature. Her answer was quiet. Because my people were guardians once. Pause. Guardians of what? Her hand brushed the strange glyphs etched along the cavern walls. They pulsed faintly at her touch. Of this. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in darkness. At its center lay a structure unlike anything human science had built, an obsidian spire, humming faintly, encircled by rings of suspended light that defied gravity. It was alive. This, Kaylin whispered almost reverently, is the Ark of Silence, a relic of the Ascendants, an ancient race that vanished long before your kind learned fire. I stared awestruck. What does it do? Her expression hardened. It ends wars. It erases civilizations. It silences galaxies. That's why the Alliance wants it. That's why the Syndicate wants it. And that's why you must never let it fall into their hands. A chill ran down my spine. Then why bring me here? She turned to me, eyes glinting like cold stars. Because you unlocked the coordinates. You're the key. Without you it remains dormant. With you, it awakens. Part 4. The Awakening. We weren't alone. As Kaylin guided me to the spire, shadows rippled at the chamber's edge. Figures emerged. Men and women in Alliance black, rifles raised, helmets reflecting the light of the rings. At their head stood Commander Vera, once my superior, now my betrayer. Step away from the artifact, Vera barked. Kaylin, you were contracted to bring him in, not play guide. Hand him over. Kaylin's blade hissed free, its edge glowing like molten steel. She didn't move closer to me, she moved closer to them. You'll have to kill me first. The standoff crackled with tension. My heart pounded as soldiers fanned out, rifles trained on us both. And then the spire pulsed, sending a wave of resonance through the chamber. The rings of light spun faster, humming louder, as though sensing my presence. Kaylin glanced back at me, urgency burning in her gaze. Touch it. Now. I hesitated. What if it kills me? Her voice was sharp, unwavering. What if it kills everything else if you don't? I stepped forward. My hand trembled as I reached toward the black stone. The instant my skin met its surface, the chamber erupted in blinding light. Part 5. The Choice. Visions poured into me. Galaxies collapsing, stars extinguished, voices screaming across time. I saw civilizations rise and fall, erased as though they had never been. The Ark of Silence wasn't just a weapon. It was memory itself, tool to rewrite existence,